Hi, hello everybody. Welcome back to Arvind Upadhyay. So, I am your host Arvind Upadhyay. This podcast is brought to you by Arvind Upadhyay Books, and Arvind Enterprises Group. If you are thinking to starting any business or independent partnership and franchisee, then must you check out the Arvind Enterprises Group. Now, in this episode, I am your host Arvind Upadhyay. You can search me on Google and go to the Arvind Upadhyay official website to explore more podcast videos, books, and related things that can help you to grow and learn more in your life. So in this video I'm talking about the uh, how to build a product that's scale into a company. You know that it's a super common that when you start a company, you start with the product. So for those starting companies, did you have a bolt of lighting where I have got a product idea and that was the genius for the starting the conversation? Or did you spend time deep in the industry where you understand a problem product, who have started their thinking with a product as opposed to the market by the way most people do? That's not just I am not trying to imply that the not the right way to do it is the right way to do, but it doesn't always scale into a company. And so what we want to talk to about today is about how you take that product idea and how from the beginning you can build things like thinking about go to market, thinking about the pricing, all these steps that turn into a big company, as opposed to just thinking straight about the product. To the agenda today is to talk about something that we call the company gap, and then talk about how we actually design the product from the get to go to span. That's a gap, and that involve both the designing for the product go to the market fit, and by go to market I mean you can actually design product to make them easier to sell, and that's super important. And then you can architect a business model on top of that which help you scale your selling, so pricing and all of that stuff. So we are going to talk about all that steps today. And so the problem you have here is the term minimum viable product. You have certainly heard the term product market fit, but it's often doesn't get the air of momentum to build a lasting company. Product market fit, so the BC business, one of the things we are seed investor at the underscore, and on the market we look for the company to getting ready to question number one, do they have product market fit? Building a minimum viable product (MVP) and subsequently growing it as a full-scale solution based on the user feedback is not an overnight task. It's a require a complete plan, strategies, market knowledge, and clear understanding of the steps to build a full-scale product from MVP, which is the minimum viable product. Uh, After the MVP stage, you are undoubtedly wondering how what's come next in the startup life cycle. Fortunately, you are not alone to make all your investment times and effort behind the developing an MVP worthwhile. You must know how to scale a product from the MVP stage. No doubt that's not only the product development, but the role of the MVP in the product development is highly significant. In this episode, I will walk you through the tips, steps, and the guide to move from the minimum viable product to full scale product. But before that, let's know about the common challenges. The challenges to scale a product from the MVP. Building the MVP is easier to start with since it's simple to create, test, and deploy. However, as the solution grows in size, making modification and resolving fault become difficult. In a solution, this profile should be executed at both the application and database layer. A profiler should be able to answer questions like how many concurrent users can be my current MVP, is setup support, and is a redesign required to enable a full scale solution, or build simply scaling upon the backend with enhancement to the front stack. What's a code profiling suffix, and in that event that the existing solution suffer latency, which layer is causing it. do that's a constraint that exists in the MVP stage. Solution exists in the code and database. Furthermore, there are the more common challenges while scaling a product. Losing focus, keeping stakeholder and worker on the same page with the product strategy become an increasingly more difficult task as a firm develop and expand. During that period of the expansion, a lot happens. The culture transforms, new office open in new place, new employees are hired. When new employees join the company, that may and may not have the same vision for the product, and it is the product's team responsibility to correct this. Development methodologies not scaling that quickly. Lean startup approaches such as rapid experimentation are the commonly used by the early stage organizations. They can quickly test, validate, create and deliver new product and features. Thanks to these techniques, growing businesses may find it difficult to maintain the effectiveness of these procedures. As businesses grow and the development team expand, the entire development process must adapt. When one Scrum team unexpectedly expand to the 2, 3 or even 4, it can take some time to modify process to take them as efficient as possible, not to mention the additional complication that comes with the having various development teams working on different projects. The roadmap is driven by sales. I believe there is a strong case to be made that this is an issue that all product managers face, regardless of their company's stage. This is the most common challenge that product managers confront. According to 16% of those polled, it is a tough one. Almost every product managers have received a request from the sales that goes something like this: I need you to build this fancy feature right now, because if you do it, I will be able to close the mammoth of the deal. It is a strong argument for this. However, when it's come to long-term product planning, saying yes is not always the greatest option. Product managers at a high growth businesses frequently believe that the sales executive is the lowest person in the room who can change the product roadmap direction. This frustrated them, especially when these requests appear out of the nowhere and well thought out strategic initiative. So post minimum viable product development, how to scale up your product. The purpose of minimum viable product is to validate the product hypothesis, whereas the goal of the minimum marketplace product is to release the product to the public and receive the first proof of the success. It is natural progression. MVP is the first version of the product to include the functionality people anticipate, providing the vital feedback to the company. Furthermore, this method enables the faster profit maximization and manufacturing profit enhancement. Delivering the proper solution to the customer's problem is one of the most crucial minimum marketable features. Overall, a minimum commercial release allow you to focus on the small number of the feature rather than developing the hidden utility over time. However, the real task begins once your MVP is ready, because it is the time to scale it up by following below, which I am going to talk about how to scale the product. You can scale your product from your MVP. Number one is use customer feedback and data collection to your advantage. Customer input can be obtained through the quantitative analytics and the research, which the team can use to develop an excellent scaling strategy. They can also use the feedback to identify which new feature should be developed first, make changes to the product and retest it. Such as a strategy will be ensure that your product will succeed in the long run on the market, and that will continue to develop while maintaining the necessary flexibility. To make the most of the MVP phase, you must be prepared to collect real data from the customers as they interact with your product. As your progress from the MVP to the product, keep track to your behavior, interaction and drop off the each touch point to find the features that may improve, added or removed. Remember the respond to all the criticism, especially negative one. Customer that feedback, unfavorable feedbacks are the actually doing you favor by pointing out the issue that you can address as you progress from the MVP to the product development. Consider scalability. This is the point we're discussing from MVP to scale and achieve full potential. Many businesses have failed after launching a successful MVP because they failed to consider how to scale. It is vital to stop preparing for failure and start planning for success. As you progress from MVP to the product, what if 100,000 individuals were immediately interested in your product? Do you have that people, infrastructure and inventory in the place handle that level of the order? This generally entail addressing automation, continuous integration, SOP, standard operating procedures, support personal contingents and scalable cloud services such as payment, API, etc. Customer relationship management, CRM. So as a virtual contact center in the context of the digital product development, the last thing you want to is for your product greatness to cause it to fail. Number third is adopt pricing strategies. At the MVP stage, software product development, pricing is another point to debate. You don't want to test your pricing estimate as a minimum viable product anyhow, do you? No, it doesn't work that way. The purpose of MVP development is not to create a half-baked and hastily put together product. A successful MVP will address the major pain point that the product is meant to address, even if it does not have all the features of that final product. The MVP clients may pay with the idea that their purchase will be upgraded to full version whenever your offering goes from the MVP to the product in the digital product development. If you want to use your MVP to analyze your pricing estimation, keep track of the visitors and conversation. When does traffic start to diminishes the certain pricing point? This type of the study might help you figure out what kind of the pricing structure the market will be accept once the finished product is ready for the big leagues. Fourth is invest into your marketing strategy. Because the MVP is not the final product, many organizations are afraid to invest money on the marketing when they release it. This is yet another blunder. Your MVP launch is not just as a good way to see how customers react to the basic version of your product. It is also a great way to focus on the marketing strategy that will serve you best once the move from the MVP to the product. So in the short, I want to say that the MVP traffic is also great for the generating leads, and using email sign up list and remarketing pixel or cookies, you may start building the list of the qualified lead to contact once your finished product is fully operational. The leads who have previously expressed interest in your MVP. Number 5 is analyze and test. That is basic bug report. The startup approach should be emphasize adaptability and testing in order to continuously improving the quality of the product. As the result, quality control, quality assurance and testing your MVP should all be included in the process during the product launch. Everything you track during the MVP launch, traffic, abundant cart, conversations, social interaction, customer comments and so on must remain on your radar. As your result, you can continuously improve your customer journey as well as the product itself, resulting in the higher customer happiness. Continues to tracking the performance of your ads and undertake A-B testing to hone the greatest cost per conversation feasible, even if you got a head start of the marketing during the MVP phases. Sixth one is adopt a robust product strategy. MVP is the product management and product development require a robust product strategy that can lead to the successful product scale up. It is critical to incorporate the market condition, product strategy and vision. The customer need in addition to the product experience and interface we work on the everyday. Let's imagine that your shopping list app will now serve as a new sector of the food industry, and that user will be able to select recipe and app would be automatically add the necessary product to their shopping list. Is not that cool? Imagine how it would be affect the product, customer, industries and trend. We may expect it's a how have an impact on demographic and age trend. It could be, for example, be useful for the elderly people who enjoy cooking. We had have to make the sure the product is not too advanced for the senior citizens or any other segment that we hope to join our customer arsenal. It can even change the app's UI color palette. We must ensure that our product will meet the needs for the industry in all aspects. Aside from that, if your product is on the rise, it's indicate you will be attracting more clients, more customer equal more requirement. So the bottom line of this episode is the post MVP process is not the straightforward. It is a long way for the product first launch to product market fit. As a result, ensuring that you have the financial liquidity for more, and most importantly that you may have the proper team on your side during the development of the right growth strategy is the critical to the minimum marketable product release. However, once you have the plan in place and the solid software development team, scaling up the product that your customer enjoy will be much more easier. Dealing with all the technical things and the most difficult component of the creating an MVP for the startup. This is especially important if you are developing software. You can only handle so much information before becoming the overwhelmed. The jargon, the information overload expert will be required to assist you with the major decision in the development of your MVP. I hope you have loved this episode about a minimum viable product and how to create your product into a company. I hope you love this. I was your host Arvind Upadhyay in this episode. You can search me on Google. Go to the Arvind Upadhyay official website, explore more about our podcast, our audio video training seminars, events, program. You can buy the Arvind Upadhyay books, which is available on Amazon, Flipkart and everywhere. Thanks for watching and listening. I hope you loved it, and make sure follow us everywhere this podcast is available. You can listen wherever you love to listen. Spotify, Stitcher, Ghana.com, anywhere you can listen this episode. And make sure you hit the like and give a review to us so we can use your feedback to improve us. Thanks so much.